most pastors do some form of training, ceremony, some form of certification, something before they become pastors. Most pastors.
Yeah.
Do you guys think there should be something similar for MDs or just church musicians? Not necessarily like a music school, because that would be for the musical side, but for the spiritual side, that you're going to be like a second minister in that case. Do you think it should be something along that line that musicians are required to go through
I think
before holding such position?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, and I think that there should be some talk, because that's the pastor I told you about. He invited me to his church, so I'm coming up in 3 weeks, and I'm gonna play with the band in the morning, and then in the afternoon we're gonna sit down and we're just gonna discuss the role, how things work, because I think we may take it for granted that everybody knows what an MD does. I didn't know. I was MDing for years, and another guy who came to my church, he said, "Sean, we need you to communicate more. We need you to, do." There was a lot of stuff I didn't know, so I think even if it's not like a formal training, there needs to be some kind of, I don't know, maybe
coaching.
Yeah, maybe Daquan is the one who'll start that, because they need to have some kind of. But somebody with some experience needs to, just so they understand what the role entails. Because
maybe we need to do a video on that. Like, what's really the role of an MD?
Yeah.
Because I've heard that an MD is different from a worship leader. I've heard that, and I'm like, is there a difference? MD versus a worship leader? So the worship leader is what? Just the person that does the singing? MD run the band? Like, what's the difference?
Yeah, most of the time the worship leader is going to be the person leading praise and worship vocally. So they're going to be on mic. They're going to be mainly leading the congregation in worship, versus the music director is the one in charge of making sure the band is on the same page, coming up with arrangements, directing in flow moments, or even as they go from song to song, what's happening with the musical changes, musical moments, things like that.
And who chooses the songs each week? Is it the MD or is it the worship leader?
Most situations that I've been a part of, it's the worship pastor.
Yes.
Leader, whoever sings.
Yeah, that's a good question, man, because the pastor who called me, that was the thing he was asking me. And I said, well, who's your MD? And then the person he named, it wasn't the MD. So he didn't even realize what MD meant. And I'm like, I said, when we gospel musicians say MD, we're talking about the band leader. We're talking about that person in the mic helping the band know what to do, right? That's what we mean when we say MD. He was like, oh, I thought, so he didn't even know that that's what an MD was. And I know that there are a lot of pastors like that. And I said, he said, so who's supposed to give how does the band get their songs? I said, well, it's different for every church.